Welcome back, Aces. Another big week in the AFL. We reviewed last week the Daicos Goal. How good was that? Cal Brown, 3 weeks. Can you believe that? 3 weeks? We don't really know what's going on anymore. But anyway, big week. Ward's week, 300 games, the hardest head in footy. Who has it? We think it's him and a few others. We also talk about play on or out of bounds. Stealing someone's toothbrush is a last resort. Well, there's a bit of a discussion right there. Anyway, plenty more to come your way, plus some blockbuster footy this weekend, so tune in. This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.
All right, Tommy, let's get stuck into the podcast, mate.
Welcome back, everyone. Aces Premiership Countdown. The Pigs in the building. We haven't even spoken to each other yet, so this will be fun. I don't know what the Pig's been up to, but welcome back, mate. Plenty to talk about. As we know, we're a bit later on the review of last week, but we don't forget, and we're filthy with the Bulldogs. We'll get to them in a moment. But what have you been up to, Pig?
Pretty quiet weekend, mate. I didn't play footy. I had Greek Easter, actually. My wife's Greek. My kids are Greek, obviously, now. And we celebrated that with our family on Sunday. A lot of food. Unbelievable. Like, I really get around the Greek Easter now. So that was...
kebab is it a kebab operation?
A lot of meat, a lot of everything, to be honest.
So you say your kids are Greek and your missus is Greek. Are you Greek now?
I'm not Greek. I just get around the festive holidays that they celebrate, and I love it. It's good family day and a lot of grub.
What do they do differently on on Easter compared to what we normally do?
Well, the Greek Orthodox, they go to the churches the night before. It's celebrated obviously on a different day. But it's just a big family get together and they eat food. You have a beer or a wine or whatever. And it's kind of, big family community, the Greeks. And I love it. It was good. So I weighed in pretty heavy on Monday. So I'm back on the juice cleanse.
Oh, the juice cleanse, not the juice. Can we let her talk about it yet?
It was 2 days on my second day of the juice cleanse again.
Are you back into the juice cleanse?
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. So which I'm looking forward to getting off.
Oh, boy.
I love my grub. So, lost about 4 kilos. That's how much I was weighing after Greek Easter.
Geez, I wouldn't want you on a domestic flight needing to go to a number 2 after the Greek Easter.
What did you get up to?
I did nothing. I was last week when we were talking, I was still on the mend after that golf trip. As I said, the stomach was playing up something shocking. So I've just been laying low. I haven't touched a drink. I haven't touched any alcohol for a while. I've got a wedding coming up this weekend, actually, in Bali. So the last thing you want is Bali belly off the back of, Barnbougle belly. So I'm just laying low. Mate, quiet, real quiet. I've watched a lot of footy again, and the NBA finals been smashing that.
Been good.
Love sport.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Need to get fit again. That's one thing I need to do. But, mate, what are you wearing? I've seen this guy before. I can't remember what I've seen him on. Who is that?
He is taking over my world and a lot of other people's worlds at the moment. This Tim Naki, he's from New Zealand, and he's doing the 10 cents per follower, and gambling in blackjack.
Oh, it's a blackjack guy online.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I've seen his videos.
Me and my mates around him. I thought I'd support him and get the shirt on. And
you're a good man. So you've purchased his T-shirt online.
Yeah. No.
So he's actually making money on tees now.
He's making money on punting. Like his thing was manifesting the $1 million or the milli, and he got up to $1 million. But he's had a couple of off days, but he won today, so he's pegging it back. But it's mate, it's great content.
So good.
The way he goes about it just makes me laugh. He pots the dealers, and he gives good content. So I'm right around him, and so is everyone else.
That's amazing. So it's like 10 cent per follower, and he's up to like
1.3, I think he's up to.
Million. And how
1.2.
And how much money is he betting now?
So it's 120,000 or 130,000.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's pretty obvious to your math. Yeah, right. Fuck,
but he had to double down the other day, and he copped a bit of a whack. So he lost over 250 grand a day.
Does he rig out now that it's like? Does he like? I'm just trying to. I haven't been watching his last few videos. I've seen a few.
Like it was, for a while there, I was like, "Is this real? Like, is it real money?" But you could see the hurt, and then you could see the excitement when he finally got over a mil. So it's legit, I believe, and great viewing. So if you don't follow him, get around him.
No,
get his
I don't
dollars
follow
up.
him. I'll just view him, but I have to just follow him. And is it what times he do this?
About 10 a.m. I think usually it pops onto my feed, or 9:30, and I'm on there waiting, mate. Like
so it's a genuine he's. It's
not by the. It's not. Nah. It's sometimes a bit later, but it's very funny. So anyone out there, check him out on Instagram.
Tim Naki?
Tim Naki, N-A-K.
That is outstanding. I love that you are. So this is the pig. He's supporting a great man, a punter. Maybe we need to go speak to Naki about our strategy, because it sounds like maybe his strategy is better than ours.
Help us,
I mean, we've been done by Sydney Swans against Richmond. Now we've been done by Dogs against Hawthorn. We're going to get to this later on, but it's killing us. And it's the little ones, like the things that we don't even want to do, but we'll just throw them in there to just tick off that $1.60. We didn't have to do it, but anyway, we will talk about that later on. I've got the draw results. You know how we said last week, just a bit of integrity here, but we'll throw it to social media to see what our, everyone that follows us thought about the draw. So I'll put up the draw with your Scott on it, and I said penalty shootout, extra time, and leave as is. The results were penalty shootout 22%, extra time 37%, and leave as is 41%. So
people spoken.
It's not. It's quite close. Extra time and leave as is almost. Really? As I said, 37-41. And not everyone that followed us voted, but to those that did, appreciate you. So maybe I reckon. And people don't like change.
Nah.
But the penalty shootout is something new, and I think it's exciting.
I was just thinking, if you're sitting there watching it, it'd be cracking.
Oh, and I think Joe, awesome. The great man Wispy, made a great point on TV. Having the teams line up on the side, they can't throw anything, but they can, in a training when you do it. So you got the big wall and players like, you suck, and you got to come through the middle. And, you know what I mean? A bit of theatre. That would be elite. And you got the camera, Channel 7's right there. Yep. I feel like it would be, I'm all for it anyway. Plenty of other things to talk about before we move on to this week, but the thing that I was a bit confused about. There's a lot going on with the concussion stuff, and I don't want to get into it because I don't want to get too much detail. But the Libber's situation on the weekend. Did you think that he looked a bit dazed?
He did look a little bit wobbly.
What was he doing back out there?
Especially, and we don't want to pot the docs. They know a little bit more than us and what's going on. But just to the punter's eye, he looked a little bit off, and you feel like they're right onto that kind of stuff. And then he copped the boot to the head, and he went off. But
now they're saying delayed concussion, and now he's going to miss a bit more than a week. I'm pretty sure I read
indefinite. I saw so that indefinite generally means at least 4 weeks. Do you know what I mean? It's we'll see how he feels. With a head, it's it's going to be a while.
Just watching live going, we all know Libber, and he's an inside beast, so it's not like he's going back out there and running around like I did in lane 8. He's back in the contest, in the trenches, putting his head over, and it was a contest all day.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to talk about that, but then the other one was Cal Brown. I thought he went straight.
So
he's collected McCartan with his shoulder, and he's got him unfortunately flush. 3 weeks.
3 weeks is stiff. And the thing is, the Aussie rules footy, it can bounce it anyway. If you track the footy, he was tracking the ball, but it literally it put the brakes on the ball. So if you watch, he's tracking where he thought the ball was going to go. I reckon the ball's stopped a bit, and then he's realised, it's too late by then. And he's just protected himself. What's he supposed to do, man? Throw his arms out and chest him? I don't think you have enough time to think like that. I understand, but 3 weeks. Give him a week. Time. Understand that footy accidents do happen. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy that wants to knock everyone out.
He's a lovely guy, and I think you see straight away. He's he's trying to help out. They try to rough him up. He's strong as an ox. He just said, "Come on, boys." He didn't even. The thing was, he didn't deviate off the line. So it was there was no into McCartan. It was just straight, you know what I mean? And it was a perfect collision. Unfortunately, McCartan's cheekbone got him.
Yep.
And it's if he gets up and plays, I feel like the outcome's determining how many weeks you get.
Yeah,
Like how,
it is. Yeah.
You know, like it's like, oh, McCartan, he's concussed and out of the game now. So then it's like, well, that's high impact. We got to give him more than a week. It's got to be 2 or 3.
The match review panel, like they've had a few mares, I reckon, this year.
It's just
and
confusing.
I'm not saying exactly. I don't know. It's hard. What do they do? Like they have a little template, but
I
it's
thought
subjective.
the deliberate, like, you know, and we love Schultze. Schultze and Blake Acres are great mates. When he's grabbed the back of him and he's gone a punch,
What did he get for that?
I think he got a week. It's a deliberate act, right? And then the one with Jesse
even the
Hogan where he's kind of thrown one, got a week. I thought that was the worst. Well, when I grew up anyway, I thought that was a bad intention and act versus going straight through the line and not deviating.
I agree. And I'm mates with Hogs, but I think he deserves some time for that because he's in the goal square. He's like 100 metres from the ball and he's thrown a punch nearly.
And missed.
Well, he kind of clipped him a little bit, but it's like, well, you don't need to do that. You have the control there to hold it in, hold your anger in and not do it. Whereas when you're going for the ball, like that's your job. You're going for the ball. You're not your job's not to punch people in the goal square.
Yeah, I go straight through the line of the footy was something that I got told was just go straight through the line, not grab at one end and try to balk someone. And that was just, anyway, it's just getting confusing. And I feel like as past players, we have played the game. We're now fans, but don't really understand what's going on. Anyway, we'll get it positive. What about your man, Fritzy? He's how
fine.
silky is he? Like he literally kicks 2 or 3 a game, and it's not like you can just put on a superstar fullback because he can kick him from the boundary. He can kick him from anywhere, really, and he doesn't need a lot of chances.
You can the thing is, he's so versatile. You put a bigger, stronger defender on him, he'll just craft you around on the ground level, you know, crumb a few goals, play a bit of a different way, get around a bit more. You put one of those nippy, smaller backs who might be, you know, a bit quicker than him, but he's so good and strong with his body work in marking contests. He'll just mark the ball all day. Like he's so versatile. He's just an all-round good forward, and it takes his opportunities. Like that goal in the last quarter.
Oh, mate, it's wet as well. He just gripped it. That's hard to do when it's a bit wet.
He doesn't miss snaps and stuff, like very rarely. Like obviously someone will say, yeah, he does. He's missed this one, but he's the best finding balance on his left foot and kicking goals, like in the league. I think he has to be in All-Australian contention. I don't know. He was nearly there last year. He kicks goals every week, regardless if we're going good or bad. I think I saw a stat. He's like 4th since 2020. He's 4th in goal kicking in the comp.
Yeah, there you go. Well, mate, as I said, he's good for 3 a week, I reckon, and that's against Geelong.
Yeah, he's a good teammate. He's a
great fella. He's a great fella, and it's always good seeing his smile. He's got the thickest head of hair, doesn't he?
It's something. Stays still.
It's such a talking point when everyone's watching him. Like, look at the hair, look at the mop. It's always slicked and premium. You know, he's had the haircut just before the prime time, but it still looks thick.
A lot of people get the haircuts before the prime. So you would have been the guy that get the.
Yeah, I used to think about me look more than probably, you know, me game. Me and Aiden Crozier, mate, what do you reckon? You got that product. Slide it over here, would you, big fella?
I used to put wheel grip in my hair just to keep it out of my eyes.
The Grippo stuff?
Yeah, just go bang. That's how much I cared about how I looked.
By the end of the career, though, I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Even the face, you're just letting it. There's a bit of bum fluff on your chin.
Back in the day, they used to, when I was at Essendon, and they were legal back then, the old Solarium. Blokes used to pop into the Solarium.
Oh,
yeah, you didn't have to worry about it when you were in Perth.
Nah,
boys used to pop in there. I won't name any names, but
name a couple. They're not the ones that aren't playing anymore. Who was the leader of the pack?
Dave Myers got me onto the
good WA boy,
I was
isn't he?
living with him, so he got me onto it. Tommy Bellchambers definitely went there. He had a year-long tan. There was a few, but then you get the ones that you wouldn't expect. Like the Heppel would go in there.
Yeah, I reckon
and Trav Collier would go in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a place you wouldn't expect, but.
Well, it's always
mate,
funny.
but everyone did it back then. Or maybe it's just our club, but you go on Friday night, Saturday night, you want to have a nice bronze to the skin. But you go in. I remember the first time I went, I was like, I'll go for the 6-7 minutes. Came out red raw.
I've seen it before.
Well.
Anyway. We had blokes at school, because I went to school at EKC the last couple of years, and blokes were running the Solly then. And one of my mates, Frankie Dale, good shout out, hope he's going well. He's boxing the house down at the moment. But He's pasty as a ghost, mate. So he's come back from lunch. He's burnt to a crisp. It's the middle of winter, and they always denied it when they went. I go, mate, where you been? He goes, man, I know where, man. He just went and got a schnitzel roll. I go, fucking give me a spell.
He's sweating.
Roll. You look like you've been in the bloody oven with the schnitzel. Have a look at you. You're bloody red raw. And he goes, no, deny it. You know what I mean? Like, they're burnt to a crisp. And the other boys I used to go, Renner and Todd, they're like bronze, you know?
One of the old sayings was brown fat's better than white fat. So, like, if you're a fat prick but you got a tan, you look a lot better than pale than being fat. So,
oh, that is awesome. Yeah, well done. I did it once. I had a singlet tan. Man, Crosby got me in there. And they wouldn't let me do the 14 minutes. They put me on the 7, and it didn't do anything. And I still had the singlet tan, so I didn't go back.
Yeah, right.
But the singlet tan were putrid, man. Putrid. You get the Perth sun, but you're rocking the singlet tan flat out, unless you're putting in the extra work. Lee Spur used to tan naked out the back with the sock over the old fella.
Cheek out.
Full.
Everything out.
Yeah, everything. I
hate laying in the sun. I get real hot and bothered real quickly. I've got 10 minutes in me and I want to go inside.
100%. The best way to tan is when you're out in maybe backyard cricket, not thinking about the tan, and you're getting one at the same time.
I can't just lay there and bake.
Well, fuck, we're speaking about some stuff. We're talking a lot of pump here. Well, let's get into a bit of, what we do normally, a bit of play on or out of bounds. We've got a lot to talk about. It's Ward week. We've got Tommy Hawkins, a big week for him. Can he bounce back? We both think he will, no doubt. Let's get into play on or out of bounds. Got a good one this week. This one's written in by someone, but using someone else's toothbrush as a last resort. I'm guessing last resort could be anything. You've just got no toothbrush and maybe you just need to brush the fangs before going out, and or maybe you're away camping and you can't go to the shops and you just got one brush between 3 or 2, whatever, and you got to steal it, or you got to you're probably not asking, and you probably got to
you're doing it on the
slide. You're doing a sly operation. So is it play on or out of bounds, Pig, to maybe do the sly operation and use the missus toothbrush when she's not looking?
This is funny because my kids, the thing is just grabbing toothbrushes, and so the other night I couldn't find my toothbrush. My joint's 3 stories. I'm right at the top. I'm not going down all the way to the bottom. Anthony, let me use your toothbrush. No, it's losing. It's disgusting. I'm like, and it is a bit gross, but I'm like, I'm going to wash it, So I'm like, nah, it's out of bounds. But I reckon if you do it on the sly, you gotta give it a good rub, make sure you're not getting their germs, and then you got to clean it real bad afterwards. Obviously, the last resort. That's not a last resort. Me going downstairs.
Well, so you at your family home, not going down to the bottom floor.
No, I've got it. No, we found one. She made sure. I think she eagle-eyed me, made sure I wasn't using hers. But if you're out camping or something,
what about camping? It's just you and the missus and another, and the family and another family, and you've realised you've made the mistake not to pack your toiletries.
Well, what's worse? Is it not brushing your teeth, or you know what I mean, for a night?
I know what my answer would be.
Yeah, I can't sleep. I reckon if I haven't brushed my teeth the night before, but I don't know. I reckon my missus would be like, "No, you're not brushing your teeth. I'd rather you have stinky breath than use my toothbrush." Yeah. So.
And what would you do even if she said that?
Wait for her to go to the dunny and use her toothbrush. No. Yeah, I don't know.
What about if you're with the boys on a golf trip?
I'm not using my mates are filthy, mate.
I know, but I'm just thinking, your last resort, you're there for 3 days.
Yeah, you're probably
buying one, but you can't because you haven't.
Find someone with good oral hygiene, giving it a real polish, putting antiseptic bloody everything on it, and giving it a go.
You could get the kettle out.
It is pretty rank though.
It is rank.
It's disgusting.
It's a great question that's been written in here, using someone else's toothbrush. Well, mate, for me, these choppers need I need 3 of them.
A toilet brush.
Yeah, a toilet brush. Toilet brush. Fucking hell, I've just used the toilet brush. Pure filth, that is. Pure filth. Well, it's a great discussion. Great discussion. I think it's definitely a sly operation. But tell you what's out of bounds if they use your toothbrush. 100%. If you're using my toothbrush, it's out of bounds. But if I need to do something as a last resort, it's play on. That is pure piggery. Right, let's get into the Aces tipping leaderboard. It was pretty tough last week, Pig. I tipped 5. How many did you tip? From memory?
I think I tipped 6.
That's a great effort. Yeah. Not a lot of people did tip too well, but To everyone that's in our competition, me and the pig had a discussion off air here, and we are getting some great momentum. We've got some great jerseys coming our way.
One on the way too.
Yeah, so we'll and we've just been told by Brado that we've got a little operation that's going to be behind us soon, so we'll be able to hang up some jerseys on the set. So if you're watching this one on YouTube, then you'll be able to see what kind of jerseys will be coming your way later on. Anyway, American Ace is tipping leaderboard. I'll just go straight to the top. We've got a leader, Joshy Lock. Lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, he needs to give us a lock for the tips.
He does, Josh. You send in your locks, mate. He's got 54 on the leaderboard, and he's tipped 6 last week, which is outstanding. So shout out to you, mate. Won't give anyone else any credit because you're at the top. So Joshy Lock is our clubhouse leader right here for the American Aces AFL tipping. I'm 168th, pig. So I've got a bit of work to do. I'm 47, 7 behind Joshy. So a bit of work to be done there. So there's your leaderboard in the tipping. Punters Club review. It was a tough week, but we won't talk too much about our sales. We both 2 for and 50% operation. But it was our 12-week challenge that we're filthy about because we said, the parlays are we're up kind of, and we've had some fun and a bit of it's been tough, but we were feeling amazing after Freo smoked Richmond. I thought, that's the hard leg done. Now we just take the interest. We'll just take we could have almost cashed out when the Dogs were 2 or 3 goals up. We weren't thinking like that because we just thought they'd get it done. But they've cost us $550 and a chance to go for our 3rd week of whacking 550 to get probably about 800 to $1,000. Anyway, getting back on task right here, our man Triggs, Multi, you know how you had a little go? You were a bit filthy last week, calling him champion, I think.
Tongue in cheek.
He had a $14 one for us and we read it out. Guess what? He lost by 1 leg.
It's not a bad effort by Trig, but you know what 1 leg costing you by 1 leg? You get $0 out of it, which I've found out recently. So he's in the negatives.
Recently.
Yeah. So if you lose by 1 leg, you get zilch. Doesn't matter if you lose by 4 or 1. So you don't get a pat on the back.
No pat in the back for second. And the thing I was chatting to Trig online and said, mate, he goes, mate, the tail's between the legs because it was the first leg as well, and I followed up with him on the Sunday, but it was Rankin. He had him for 15. If he had whacked him in for 2, he kicked 3 in the end, Rankin. I said, what are you doing putting him for 15? He's a forward. Anyway, so if he had to just put a goal in there, I think it would have paid more. So,
hindsight's 2020, man.
I know. And very lucky that the big fella didn't get up because you would have been cocked.
He would have came and sat near for the pod next week. So,
but keep it coming. We love it. We love it.
Have a look at it.
Let's get into our listener questions of the week before we get into the footy. There's been some great. We're only about 9 this week. Not going to hit yous up, but, me and Pig are putting in a fair bit of effort. Pig's out here, he cops it from the Dale every Wednesday night because I hold him up. So, just maybe a couple more questions if you're listening. If you are, I'll see the numbers. The numbers are amazing. We love the support. They're actually getting bigger, Pig. I was looking at the numbers the other day, but they're growing, which we love. So continue to tell your friends to check it out if they love the AFL. But, mate, some great questions anyway. So let's get into it. Just the one from Joshy Lock, our tipster leaderboard, just said, OT for me, lads. Play the game out, and then if they can't be split after 5 each way, goal shootout. So that's a good. I haven't heard the double. I haven't heard the double, but yeah, that'd be amazing.
Don't hate it. Don't hate
like the old FIFA.
Yeah, it's FIFA.
Here we go. I'm flat. Train mentions that my stop that is getting a run and it didn't make the final edit. Just a reminder, fella, from the footy club, Justin McConnell here, Mr. Prelim for his sister's musical. Oh, that's actually a good one. I forgot to bring that up last week. Play on or out of bounds. That is good. I forgot to read that out last week. But we had one from one of the boys here that read, he goes, this one's for B. Shep. Stop that. A bloke from the local footy club in Mount Gambier, and he has named him. Should I read his name out?
Read his name out. 100%.
Justin McConnell. He reckons he missed a prelim to attend his sister's musical. Can't be doing that. Play on or out of bounds.
That's prelim for a musical.
You're answering this one.
I've never heard of anything like it. I reckon if it's your kids, then you probably miss them, but not your sister. She'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Couldn't you imagine the boys the next week if they got the chocolates?
You're making something else better up than that. You're not coming to the club after they're about to play in a granny. You're going, hey, coach, can I have my spot back? My sister doesn't have a musical this week. There's no way. You got to make something else up better than that.
Oh, that is a good one. So, B. Shep, I apologise for missing that one last week. Outstanding. And that is a big stop that. We could have probably addressed that as the stop that.
No, we got it out though.
Yeah, very good. Here we go. We've got one from a lovely lady here. Play on or out of bounds. Anthea.
Anthea's written in.
This might be someone that you know very well. Aircon on
half.
in the bedroom all year round. Rain, hail or shine. Aircon in the lowest temperature. Fan on the highest setting. Surely out of bounds. You can't be running the aircon during winter, can you? Can't you open a couple of windows and just freeze the house? What are your thoughts on that,
Well, you
mate?
open the windows, you get the mozzies and the flies.
What if you got the fly screen?
I don't know. We just have a sliding door in our
This
our
is
bedroom.
Fig's Mrs.
my
is
wife
written
has
in right here.
Yeah, mate. Optimal sleeping temperature is about 16 to 17 degrees. Think about that. So when the room, and I run hot, I pump out heat all the time. And you've got the doona, and you can
Pump out heat all the time.
So putting the aircon on and then just throwing a nice warm doona on you, it helps you sleep. And if you're cold, throw some kit on, throw a jumper on, throw some trackies on, throw a thicker doona on. It's not that
There's
hard.
options.
Yeah, so you can always get warmer. I tell you what, you can't do, get cooler unless there's an aircon on. Like the room is like you can't sleep with nothing on you, which I do half the time because it's fucking boiling in that bedroom. Anyway, vent gone.
Do you go the leg out, like the leg out?
Mate,
like
I honestly there's like a small portion of a blanket on my back, and that is it. I sleep on my front. Like nothing else. Like I'm leg out, both legs out, cheeks out.
You're not. Are you in the nut? Are you?
Nude.
Oh,
Are you not nude?
Nah, because it goes around. Nah, I like to have I like it compact.
Nah. Mate, let the boys go. Let them. They're hot too. They don't want to do. They don't want the doona on.
I don't know. I just like it compact.
Nah, I'm a nude.
Otherwise, sometimes it gets a bit rowdy.
What is going on?
Oh, very good. We'll move on. So it's a play-on job.
It's a play on. Yes, play on.
Right, here we go. Boys, who are the funny... This one's from Benny Woodburn.
I like these ones.
Boys, who are the funniest blokes you both have played with? Give us some stories. Also, surely get Logie Bear or Wildcat Campbell Brown as a guest for APC. Both absolute pisses. Probably worth it. Before you answer that one, do you reckon we should get a guest on soon just to mix it up?
We could get a guest on,
I love seeing you every week, but maybe we could get a guest on if that's what people want.
Yeah,
so, Benny,
mix up the
appreciate that,
content.
mate.
Yeah, it's good feedback.
Back to the question, who are the funniest blokes you've ever played with? We've both been at different clubs. So we can name one from each club, or you could just go number one.
There's so many funny, like, obviously, my best mate, Jake Malcolm's hilarious. I think he's funny as, but I think Christian Petrarca is funny. Like, he's always quoting movies and, like, saying random stuff. He's always like he's got ADD. He's always life of the party in the locker room and that. I always found him very, very funny. Like took me a couple of years to figure out what he was about. I was like, Jesus, bloke's full on. And but then after that, he's one of the funniest blokes I've ever met. So I'd say Christian Petrarca. And I'll leave it there. What
about the Dons?
The Dons, mate, you know what the footy club's like. Most blokes are trying to be funny all the time. There's so many of my mates that are funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Take
Cale Hooker's dry humour. He's pretty funny.
Dry humour's very good, isn't it?
He's good. He's funny.
And then you kind of change the way you are around dry people. You don't laugh. You go, yeah. And you're holding in the giggles because they don't ever laugh. And if you can make them laugh.
Hurley's the same, very dry, and comes up with some one-liners and you just like piss yourself. Like, what was he even thinking like that?
And how good is it when you make a dry person like piss themselves?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's a good one. You're kind of like a bit of a head bobble.
Head bobble. What about you?
I reckon Kepler Bradley used to have the tidy whities, like, the real just
the
bonds.
grandpa jocks.
The
white grandpa jocks.
And he was a big advocate for no jocks in the showers, and he would make it known. And we used to call him he's just that funny, man. Like, even on footage and that, like, he'd always be fucked, and he worked that hard, and he's He's just, I don't know, man. Like, we playing FIFA with him, and like, because Gumby lived with him. He did everything, mate. He was like, he could be an old man or a young kid, and he's in the physio room. Like, it's hard to repeat stories in the locker room, but he would be one guy that as soon as he walked in the building, he'd just make you laugh straight away, and couldn't wait to get one. You know, once his date was done, he couldn't wait to get out of the joint. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Worked his ass off every day, and I just think he was one of the funniest.
He was like a big kid, wasn't he? Yeah. Funny.
And on the piss, could he drink? They called him the fridge for a reason. Him and Aaron Sandilands, like best mates, just stand next to each other.
Picture Aaron just knocking them back like they're nothing.
Yeah, well, they would be nothing. He's 7 foot.
He's like this in his hands, like the smallest can ever.
I reckon Kepler. And then Zach Sproul from the Giants, one of the funniest. Yeah, you might not have heard of him, but Sprowley, there's a video if you want to go home and Google it. But yeah, if you see his first game, it was in COVID, and he gives himself a Gatorade shower, and it's like you just get a little glimpse of what he was like in the locker rooms. I'll show you that one later. Great question there, Benny. Harry Bales just said penalty shootout concept would be unreal. Love the feedback, mate. What was Triggy thinking? Would love to see his statement as well, Pig. Maybe time to look at incorporating NRL tips with the Melbourne Storm boys. Love your work. Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
The AFL Premiership.
I know, but the Storm are flying. You know what? We probably don't want to jinx them. They're going that well.
Yes,
the day we get on, we can't.
They're our mates.
We can't be getting their mates. We'll curse them. This is a good one. Hamish Lloyd, Train and Pig, tell us about your debuts. This is a really good one because we're talking about debuts and how you cannot be the sub.
Yep.
Even though I've got one for you. Hibbo, is it true that you and Stephen May debuted in the same match? Love the show, lads. Keep it up. Thanks, H. I did see this on AFL Central, and it was very good for you, but not good for Maisie. Can you talk about how you and your great mate Stephen May debuted in the same game?
Yeah, well, obviously I didn't know Maisie back then, but it was Gold Coast, round 6 Marvel Eddie had back then. And we, Essendon versus Gold Coast, we were 94 points or something up at quarter time.
At what?
Quarter time.
At quarter time?
Quarter time.
Is that a record?
Yeah, I think it was the record, and we won by about 190 in the end. That was my first game. Yeah.
Did you kick one?
No, I didn't kick one. I don't know. You might be able to find. I'm pretty sure I've got the record for intercept marks in a debut game. Led 6 or something.
Yeah, right.
He got dropped the next week because Dustin Fletcher was coming back.
Oh, right. Wow, 90 points in the first quarter.
We were just like as I said. I think Hooker had about 8 intercept marks. The Hurls had about 9.
So they weren't getting inside 50 and just peppering it back. Who kicked all the goals?
Remus kicked 8.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we smashed them. Yeah.
That is outrageous. But Brado's cooking up something at the back here. I was just wanting to get.
I was just talking about Remus. Remus was the big gun up front.
He was kicking them from everywhere.
He's bullied the boys, Remus.
Yeah. Mate, we called him the pop-up sprinkler because every time we go, like, he'd just pop up, Joe the Goose. Yeah. Kicked a few from the boundary, but like he was just popping up at the right spots. Balls falling in his lap. It's just nuts.
Oh, that is
one of those days. Everyone's working your way.
That's a great debut. I mean, you got dropped the next week. I actually had something similar. I was told I earned my game. It was when Freo, my first year at Freo, and it was the last round, and we're playing Melbourne, and I was the sub, and I come on with like five minutes to go in the end of the third quarter, and I got like a touch straight away. And
you were the sub.
Yeah, and which you didn't really think too much of it. It was just absolute pleasure to get a game. It would have been great to play a full one, but I just remember running on and got my head taken straight away, got a 50, turned the ball over. I remember Chip Frawley was in a contest with me, I just remember him just hitting me from behind. Like, it was just a marking contest, but just me being so much weaker than him and just thinking, here's it. And then it was like 3/4 time, and I remember Mickey Barlow because we were real good mates, but he missed me inside 50. Like, it was one of those ones where I was kind of like running right and he's kicked it just to the left, and I've just, like, the hands got there. It was almost like you're in sleep, and I just wish it was more to my body because we would have got a shot on goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I had like 5 possessions and we won. It was an amazing day, but as the sub, and then next week wasn't even in the squad.
Yeah.
So I was like, they probably just gave it to me. Even though they give you the whole like wanky, mate, you've earned this, you've worked hard all year, and you believe it, and you think I might be a chance next week. But yeah, you look back then and you're like, mate, it was unbelievable. But like a full game, you think, that would be it would be amazing. Just a quarter. It was like it went so quick. You're running around on adrenaline. I couldn't believe how much energy I was wasting just running.
And especially you're nervous as well. You use a lot of energy before the game. I remember and always like my first game and coming back from injuries, like I would use so much energy before the game. I was
you're
so
thinking
nervous.
about so much shit, aren't you?
Yeah, so I mean, you were saying how small. Like I was lucky. I was 21 when I played my first games. I was a mature AJ, and I was 92 kegs at when I was 18. Like so, I was all right. Like I was all right. I was pretty strong when I was a young bloke. I just needed to lose a bit of podge, but I never had the big fellas smashing over me. I kind of was used to it, but I ended up getting dropped, and then Fletch I think got injured, and I played nearly the rest of the year in my first year. But it was a good first game to have anyway.
Did you have all the fam up in that?
Yeah, I think from memory I had a fair few. I can't really remember. Yeah, well,
that was a good moment. I just remember like mum, dad, and sisters and that there in the rooms, and we got the win. Getting the win is just so grateful. We got the win. It was Garrick Ibbetson's 150th or 100th. I know he was in the circle with me, and the Gatorade shower, and so that was the brew. It was a special moment.
It was Paddy Ryder's 100th on the same day, so I had the Gatorade shower.
I mean, it's so much better sharing the Gatorade shower without being on your own. You sound you just look like a peanut. Yeah, great question. Anyway, righto, there's some great questions there. We've left a couple out, but we'll get back to them next week. Let's get into some footy chat, Pig. Let's just focus on the. Actually, hang on a second. It's the RIXX eye-catching moment. We've got a couple of quick ones. Let's just dive straight into the RIXX eye-catching moment. Pig, you've got a good one for us. What do you got?
All right, my RIXX eye-catching moment. I don't know about you, mate. Netflix have put on the Tom Brady roast.
Was it a roast?
It was they've done 3 or 4 now, and they're all good. But in the day and age now that we're in, with the PC and the left and saying all the right things, they went so hard at him. It was nearly like, oh, can you say that? And I love that kind of stuff. Like, especially if you're a comedian, you should be able to just pump out a gag without having the backlash. But they went pretty hard at him, man, and I loved it. And I loved what's her name, Nikki Glazer.
Yeah,
she was awesome. They really roasted him. So if you haven't checked it out, go on Netflix. But Tom Brady, and another thing that caught my eye, Tom Brady, he copped it for deflating the balls, and he denied it. He came out and admitted that he did it. He said if they had have just saved their money and gave me the 20 mil they spent on lawyers and just gave it to me, I would have told them that I did it. And I was like, that is crazy. He wasn't very good though, I'll be honest. I didn't really like Tom Brady's roast of everyone else. It was a bit like, a bit tacky.
Is he I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen it, but he's very.
Goes for 3 hours.
I've seen him live, and he's a. I mean. It looked like a doll.
Yeah, they talk about how handsome he is, and he is, and I've said it before, I think, on the
But I'd imagine his speech
was a bit robotic. You could tell he wasn't a comedian, But anyway, check it out. It was a cracker. It was my eye-catching moment.
Oh, how good. What was your favourite, what was your favourite spray?
They got into Giselle.
Oh, that was one thing.
That made me a little bit awkward. I was like, oh, she's not asking for this, and she's really the star of the show here.
She was the easy target.
Yeah. Oh, the funny one. The funny one when Kevin Hart goes, eight karate classes a day, and you didn't see this coming, and she's still a white belt. Because Giselle apparently allegedly slept with the karate instructor.
Yeah. Well, it's just, and it's like when you're not swearing and you're getting the gags across like that, just class.
Yeah, that was Kevin
I did notice he got up and, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think that was fake, or do you reckon that was legit when he told
to Jeff Ross, he goes, don't say that again or something?
About,
I don't know. It didn't.
Old mate's massage parlour gag.
It was something about asking for a massage or something. I didn't understand it.
What's his name? What's the owner of the Patriots? I've had a mental blank here.
So have I.
Anyway, he got in trouble about 2018.
Right, Kraft.
Kraft. And I think Brady wasn't happy with it. But it was almost like, did they stage that for more press?
Wow.
Because
I didn't know about that. See, I didn't even know about that. No.
That's why he said the joke, because Kraft's in the room and he goes, good to see you, Kraft. And then he did the massage. Yeah, the little massage guy. It's just humour, but I don't think Brady actually cracked it and got up.
I must respect Rob Kraft quite a bit,
obviously.
Oh,
he does. Yeah.
Anyway,
very
mate,
good,
got
mate.
For us?
Yeah, well, mine is, let's start again. Mine is Logan Morris from the Brisbane Lions. Did you see that?
Love this.
And what made me so happy, they got the win, right? Actually, no, start again. His family were in town to watch him because he was playing in the Magoos. And then this crazy day where all these things happened pre-game and he's called up to be the sub because of, a calf injury in the warm-up to Starcevic and whatnot. And his family's in town. So it's like, oh, beautiful. So they can come because it would have shattered me to know that his family couldn't be there for his first game. So the fact that he's played in the twos, he gets to see his family and then he gets a late call-up. He's not thinking about it. And then all of a sudden... And it's terrible how it works because someone's had a bad injury. I think Lincoln McCarthy, shout out to you, mate, and Gardner. That's terrible. They've had the ACLs, but all of a sudden he's on the field within the first quarter or whatever, and then he kicks a goal. They win, and it's just special. I just sort of caught my eye. I was that happy for Brizzy because I reckon they've been struggling for a while, and that game could have been either or, and. It was a hard-fought win, and he's done a half marathon for the day. He's had the Maccas in between. It's just one of the greatest debut games amazing. You'll hear about, and I was just so happy that he kicked a goal as well. So yeah, that's my RIXX eye-catching moment. And I know Tony Armstrong, a great friend of the show, he's been on here. He got the late call up once, but it wasn't his debut. This one is as good as it gets, and the fact his family was there made me quite happy.
Tucking into a bit of Maccas before that's the best.
A little pre-game meal. I think they're a sponsor as well. They would have been very happy with that.
Something in that. He played quite well.
Yeah.
I used to do it after the game.
How would you go playing a game and then warming the rig back up?
So I've got a funny. I'm not going to name the bloke, but there years ago, a guy I know quite well was the sub. The emergency. He was I think second or even third emergency, and we had two blokes go down in a warm up. So he came on. And he was a sub. He's the night before. So he played the day before in the VFL. Had a 21st, got on the piss. And then he's like, I'm third string, emergency. And got called up, and his emergency, he's like, hopefully I can only play a quarter and a half. He's a bit dusty. Injury in the end of the first quarter. Cramped at the end of the second. He only played one quarter.
Don't name him.
No,
don't name him. But yeah, was he a good player? Was he a good player?
Not particularly, no. No, I don't think he played much after that.
You've got to be ready for your opportunity, don't you?
Yeah, well, he wasn't ready.
But I couldn't tell you how many times, and I would be praying for an opportunity like that, and it never happened. Not one. I was emergency, I don't know, I reckon 30 times. I'm talking right there, ready to go, next man in, and travelling, miss a weekend of footy, and never got a chance. No. And when you hear these stories,
so you never had beers while you're emergency?
No, very professional.
Yeah, well,
so it's very tough to get into that Freo side when I was there. Yeah, no, I would never think to have a beer. That'd be the worst thing I reckon to run around in.
Yeah, and if you got caught, that's probably the reason I didn't do it. I don't think
you used to hear of blokes who started 6 beers before. I don't know how they did it because I'd cramp and I'd be having 15 hydrolytes, I don't know how they did it. So, very good. Well, there's our RIXX eye-catching moments. The Tom Brady roast and Logan Morris. You are a superstar. Can't wait to see what you can do with your career. Well done, mate. Righto, let's get into it. Pig, we just want to talk blockbusters here. We'll talk about our locks and we'll put up our parlays and Tommy's tips later on social media. But what have you got for us before we get to stop that?
All right, mate. Thursday night, my boys, Carlton versus the D's. This is a cracker. Game of the round straight off the bat. It'll be tonight once it's tomorrow night, but it'll be tonight once the pod gets released. Melbourne coming off a 5-day break. They really got up against Geelong. They played amazing football. I feel like they're building something. Like they're playing the right way. These question marks. The defense is amazing. And this is what this game is going to be. Obviously, both midfields they're both amazing, but it will come down to Melbourne's defenders, Maisie, Lever, Tom McDonald's having a really good year, and he's locking down support. And then obviously you got Kerno Mackay. So I think the Melbourne defence, best defence in the comp, probably hold them out. Carlton's probably got the best forward line in the comp, so it's be a battle of that end of the ground. I'm going to go to the D's, but I honestly think this could be right down to the wire.
The 5-day break. The thing that you just said is very interesting. I didn't think about that. It's something I should start thinking about a bit more. But I know that Melbourne are top 4 for sure this year. They are looking incredible. But But yeah, the 5-day break in Carlton were very poor. I thought last week, very poor. I thought they would. I thought they would have won that not easily, but I just thought without De Goey, the Twin Towers up there, not a lot of height in the Collingwood backline, and didn't see enough. I didn't see enough of their ball movement and whatnot. So I reckon they'll be coming out hard. I just have a feeling that Carlton win this one. I kind of it's just a tough game, isn't it? But I think the 5-day break off the back of Geelong, Collingwood game, they would have been very disappointed, and they need this one. So I'm going to lean for a bit of value here. But yeah, there's no way I'm putting him in my locks. But can't wait. What a game. And before we get to these games, we should mention all the top 8 teams are playing each other. So it's like we get a little mini finals round, I read. So how good's that?
Yeah. All right, so Friday night, down at the Cattery, the Cats versus Port.
Let's just skip this one. I'd imagine that Geelong just wiped them.
You would think so. We're going to talk about the blockbusters, but down there, I think hopefully Hawkins bounces back. He hasn't kicked a goal in 4 games. He could be in my locks this week.
Port's form has been very inconsistent. And the last 3 weeks, without Rosie as well, they're going to does Horn Francis play on ball? I know, because I thought you were stiff last week. When you said 20 possessions, I thought that's probably one of the better bets of the week if Rosie's bit 50-50, which he... What is, by the way, we've skipped over that. Rosie, he comes in with a hamstring injury. I'm thinking 21 days is what I've always been told. And then he plays.
He must have torn it.
It looks tendony to me. Like, it looks like it's hyperextension. I don't know. It's like, it's weird.
Must be just like a little stretch where he couldn't have.
Yeah, but even if he got a little strain, that's 21 days, they say.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't reckon he did. I reckon it's just.
But he can't run. He can't accelerate.
Yeah, well,
you're going to Popliteus behind the knee or something.
Yeah, Popliteus. He looked all right early, and then I think I think Hinkley said this, once fatigue rolled in.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. You run 15 Ks a game.
It's a bad call.
Anyway, so does Horn Francis play on ball this week?
Yes, I think he does. Freo versus Sydney. This is a doubleheader. So Friday night again. This is a cracker. 6 at home versus first. Sydney are playing.
McCartan will be out. Just remember that.
I know. But next man in.
They're not very tall down there.
No, they're not. But
I'm going with my boys at Freo. Freo and Giants every week for me, unless it is blatantly obvious and they're on the road and they've lost some soldiers. I can't go. I think this is the bookies have got Freo at 220. I just think Sydney are humming. But to win over in the West without your fullback against this forward line, you got Jackson, you got Amos, you got Tracy. It'd be tough.
They're not superstar forwards though. Let's.
I know.
They're good.
But Freo's been humming.
Right, but
Freo's been humming.
Sydney's defence aren't either. So
should be a cracking game.
I think
anyway.
their midfield, both their midfields, a lot of teams have good midfields, but Heaney is flying.
Fun fact on Heaney. 20-1 every game. I don't think it's been done before.
Winning the Brownlow by a stretch at the moment. We'll get the tips.
Who are you tipping?
I'm tipping Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Sydney. I think they're the best team.
Hope you guys fire up, boys, because I reckon there'll be a few that might go Sydney this week.
I think over the course of the year, they're the best team in the comp.
Yeah.
Them and Geelong, even though the D's beat them. Hawks versus Saints. I'm going to go the Saints. So
I might go the Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks down at Launceston. So
down at Lonnie, they're hard to beat down there.
I'm going to tip the Saints. So this is another good one. We might talk about this. Essendon versus GWS.
Yeah, well,
Saturday
Tommy
Arvo.
Green.
They say it's the prime time slot now, about 4:30. Have you heard that? Like, most viewers.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. But
would have thought at night time, but everyone's on the piss watching at a pub. Maybe they're not at home. Less TVs around.
I'm going to go GWS, and I think they win comfortably. Like, I
disagree with comfortably, just due to the Tom Green, Stephen Canigula.
20 points.
Are they going to be playing?
Yeah, I hope Tom Green doesn't play. That really throws a spanner.
Well, if he does, he might be playing with a fat ankle as well.
He can do that. Jab him up.
Yeah, he was a big. When he came out last week, they looked like a different side. I think, the Giants are one of my better bets of the week.
Quick, high-scoring game.
If Essendon wins this game, they are 100% the real deal.
Yeah,
and they're playing finals. Well, they're top. I think they're fifth, but they would have been top 4 if Melbourne lost.
There you go. All right, I'm going GWS.
Yeah, I've got to go the Giants.
All right, high-scoring game.
Don't skip over it. It's Ward week. 300 for their great man. And I just wanted to propose first of all, Wardy, congratulations, you are a superstar. Have you met a bloke with a harder head than Cal Ward?
Jack Viney?
Yeah.
But not many though. Yeah. You know what? They're all in the same bracket.
Who's the toughest bloke you've played with and against? Outside of Wardy, he's already up there.
I think width is probably Vines.
Mm-hmm.
And against, you'd probably have to say Hodge or Selwood.
Yeah, Selwood, yep.
I think Hodge is, Selwood, got it all because he had the cuts all the time. But Hodge was tough, man. And he'd play through injuries, broken ribs, didn't matter, still dominate, and just a good leader, went hard every time on the ball. Selwood did the same, I'd throw a blanket over those two.
Yeah, well said. I reckon Hayden Ballantyne, for me, he was hard as nails, mate. He played with a broken jaw, I reckon, 1 week. Look, I think he literally fractured his cheekbone.
Very lippy old
played the next week. We're talking.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's just come out of surgery and he's playing. It was just, he's tough as nails. I think he'd be one. And the other one was probably Jesse Cameron. I don't think you realise how tough he is when he hits as well. He's got that hardness about him. He's not that big, but because he goes so hard. And he's just got hard muscles it's I don't know, you just wouldn't want to get hit by him at pace.
Nathan Lovett-Murray was like that. You would touch him and he was like steel.
Hal Hunter, remember you would have played with Hal? He was like that.
Yeah, he was hard too, but Nathan Lovett-Murray was you didn't want to
and he could throw him, couldn't he?
Oh, you want to see him?
No, you wouldn't want to get on his bad side.
He'd get you. All right, so Richmond versus the Dogs. We'll go quickly.
The meatball's back.
I'm going to go the Dogs, but...
the Dogs are...
I'm nearly going to go Richmond.
I go for the Dogs because Adzi Treloar and the boys a lot, but they are hurting me from all kinds of angles, tipping and our best, and they don't win the ones that you expect. I said it
the other week, you don't know what they'll
probably come out and win by 60.
They've got no brand, you know what I mean? It's anyway, I'm going to go the Dogs. Suns, we're both tipping the Suns over the North. Collingwood versus West Coast, we're both going Collingwood.
Just on the Suns, they'd want to fire up, but they were pretty disappointing last week. That's the old, the Q clash.
Collingwood are
Collingwood, who they playing?
Collingwood have got West Coast at home. They're at Marvels. It's not really home, but
should be a good game in terms of there should be an easy win.
They're playing. They're back playing. They played well last week. They're back playing their better footy. And this is a pretty interesting game. Whoever loses this can't play finals, in my opinion.
Who is it?
Adelaide versus Lions.
Yeah, this is it. And
both on 3 wins.
And Lions have just copped a few. We're talking starting play. You got Starcevic.
The favourites, $1.66.
Well, they would be because they're playing good footy,
and they're playing all right. I'm going to go the Crows.
I'm thinking they go on Brizzy.
Yeah, right.
I'm thinking about a bit of value. I'm thinking this week could be a few upsets. I don't know. I thought Brisbane had their identity last week. They just dominated inside, and then they got it in there. And I thought their forwards are still getting going, but they're pretty good when they get going. Brizzy.
I think Adelaide is back playing some decent footy, so I'm going to go them.
Is that one of the best games of the round?
It could be, yeah. It's the last game of the round.
Graveyard shift. Is it a night game?
It's a 4 o'clock sitting at home.
Did you enjoy the night game last week? I loved it.
What night game?
We had the Suns play Brizzy at 7:30 or whatever, so you could just,
you're
just cruising and you're like, just put the footy on. Yeah, grass.
All right, good stuff.
Well, that means we've got to pick out 8. So this 12-week challenge, I know we're getting to the end of this pod and it's going a bit longer than normal, but
we're going to
what are you
thinking? Value this week, are we not?
Can I propose an idea?
Yes.
I reckon we're in good touch. I tipped 9 from 9 the other week. You tipped 9 from 9 the week before.
Pod you're on.
No, but hear me out. Yeah, in terms of our tipping, but we're just not picking. We're picking these $1.20. It's disgusting. I reckon we go for a head-to-head each and also a player prop each. And let's get a $6 and go against the strategy that we've got and then get back on the strategy for week 2.
Done. I like it.
Do you like it? Because I feel like it's not that hard.
I reckon I've already got one in the barrel for you.
Well, you give me your head-to-head and your player and I'll give mine.
I'm going to go same game as well. So I'm going to go the Cats down at the Cattery against Port.
Lock.
And I reckon Hawkins bounces back. They're going to feed him. He's been copping it. He hasn't kicked a goal in 4 weeks. They're going for him. Jeremy Cameron's been getting up the ground a little bit more. He's missed the last few weeks. I reckon he gets a Joe the Goose at least.
100%. They're that kind of guy.
They are that's the club they are. Chris
It's
Scott
his milestone game as well, I believe. He's all over the TV last night.
There's my 2. What are yours?
How many for 2? Is it just 2?
2 goals and Geelong to win.
Beautiful. Well, I got Toby Green for 2. He let me down last week. He really lets me down, and I'm backing him up. He's the man, and they're going to need him to rise, I reckon, this week without if depending on that midfield. So Toby Green 2 goals.
Yep.
And Giants to win.
Oh, so it's similar. They like this.
Yeah.
So they're the two games we've got to watch for it.
Yeah.
Dang, I think that gets us about $6, mate. So
I reckon we whack a hundo on that, get ourselves back to where we should have been this week, and then we progress. We feel like we're in week 3 instead of week 2.
Done. Love it.
Love it. All right.
Let's
beautiful.
move on, mate.
Our parlays and our multis, whatnot, they'll be coming to you on social media. Feeling pretty good. Watched a fair bit of footy. Some good games. Joey Danaher, I would have liked to put him in last week. Probably regret that. But like you said, I reckon players like Tommy Hawkins could be a real juicy one.
Yeah.
Righto, let's get into our KPI Construction Stop That. We love our the boys at KPI. Have anyone been yelling out to the crew? We haven't had any feedback. I know that KPI's all over they're all over Melbourne and Queensland. They're all over Australia. But we want to know, have you been yelling out? Because we haven't heard any feedback from our man Rama, the king of KPI. So I'm wondering if noise is travelling to the pod.
Well, after the Anzac Day game, I walked across from the G, went to the Botanical for a couple of beers, saw Swanee, yelled out, "Stop that!"
Yeah, Swanee works there.
Rama, so it's getting there. So
Swanee's on the podcast next, actually. With little duo.
He's dry humour, but very funny.
Very funny. Well, Pig, you're off first because you've got a beauty. What have you got for us, mate?
So this week, a little bit lighter, but my KPI Construction Stop That. I won't go too hard, but you spoke about it before, mate. How your first game you were the sub, and I feel like and it's to all the coaches going forward. If you have a debutant player, just get them on the ground early. It's a special day. You get your family, you get your friends. You've been looking forward to this for your whole life. You've been playing footy forever, and this is your moment. And to have the green vest on, Lockie Sullivan for for Collingwood on the weekend. He played well. He came on, kicked a goal straight away, and had a spark. But he was the sub. I just feel like it takes a little bit of this excitement out of the day being the sub. And it annoyed me a little bit because Craig McRae is a guy that would know that, this is a special moment and I'm going to get this kid on the field and put someone else as a sub. So stop that, putting debutant players as the substitute and try not sub them out as well. We saw it on the weekend with Charlie Clark. So
give him a chance.
Stop that. Let the boys, let them have the experience. Back them in. They'll only be better for the run.
Well said, mate. Well said. There's the whole subbing a player out is more of a stop that for mine. I don't mind the sub as much as you, but I reckon the sub out is a huge stop that.
Yeah. I mean, if the game's on the line and you're like, hey, I've got to go on the bench, this kid's he's not up to it yet or something, maybe.
Yeah.
I can understand it, but give him a go early.
Yeah, 100%.
Stop that.
Well, I might have touched on it earlier, but my one is a huge KPI Construction Stop That to our man Justin McConnell. You just can't be going to your sister's concert, man, on a prelim weekend. We've just got the mail again. I've been thinking about it the whole podcast, and I thought I had a good stop that this week. But our man from Mount Gambier, Justin McConnell, you can't be playing footy all year. And then the team finally gets in the prelim and they rely on you. Apparently you're one of the best players. And then you give up on the boys because your sister's got a concert. Come on, man. Stop that. That is outrageous.
I don't think he'll ever do it again.
Oh, that is one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
Make something up.
Make something up. And if this mail is incorrect from B-Shep, I'll be disgusted.
You've been stitched up. And stop that with the dud mail.
Yeah, stop that with the dud mail if that's the case.
Right.
But as I said, Justin McConnell, stop that. Get back into the prelim. Maybe get the video of the dance concert and watch the replay with the sister in the lounge room. But yeah, you can't be missing prelims for the old dance concert. So
I've just thought about it. I assume it's football, the Mount Gambier footy.
Yeah, it is footy.
It's happened 9 months ago, and the boys have obviously not letting him live it down. They're sending it into the pod. They're probably talking about it.
I think Jazzy wish he just didn't go to that concert.
Talking about it at the pub every weekend. He will never live that down.
And we are family first, but not for prelims. Not for very good, Pig. Well, thanks to everyone that tuned in. A bit longer today, but plenty to talk about. Pig's got to get home. If he's any later, the Dale won't be impressed with me or him.
Right. It's more I want to get home and see the kids before they go down.
True,
the missus is all right.
That's all right. Well, the juice cleanse, mate. Just stick to don't cheat like last time.
A couple of bone broths in the fridge ready to go.
Oh, look out. You'll be stinking it up. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Those questions, keep them coming. This has been fantastic. And we'll see you next week. This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.